Friday, February 24th, Jonah chapter 4. Jonah's anger at the Lord's compassion. But to Jonah, this seemed very wrong, and he became angry. He prayed to the Lord, "Isn't this what I said, Lord, when I was still at home? That is what I tried to forestall by fleeing to Tarshish. I know that you are a gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger and abounding in love, a God who relents from sending calamity. Now, Lord, take away my life, for it is better for me to die than to live." But the Lord replied, "Is it right for you to be angry?" Jonah had gone out and sat down in a place east of the city. There he made for himself a shelter, sat in its shade, and waited to see what would happen to the city. Then the Lord God provided a leafy plant and made it grow up over Jonah to give shade for his head and ease his discomfort. And Jonah was very happy about the plant. But at dawn the next day, God provided a worm, which chewed the plant so that it withered. When the sun rose, God provided a scorching east wind, and the sun blazed on Jonah's head so that he grew faint. He wanted to die and said, "It would be better for me to die than to live." But God said to Jonah, "Is it right for you to be angry about the plant?" "It is," he said, "and I'm so angry I wish I were dead." But the Lord said, "You have been concerned about this plant, though you did not tend it or make it grow. It sprang up overnight and died overnight. And should I have not concern for the great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and also many animals?" For reflection, why so angry? The story of Jonah does not explain why Jonah hated Nineveh so deeply that he would rather die than to warn them of God's wrath. He was not willing to risk the chance that the people could change their ways and be forgiven by God. He wanted the entire city destroyed. Let that sink in for a moment. He would rather die than allow the remote possibility that they could be spared. This is a profound hatred. The Lord, however, compelled him to go anyway. After warning Nineveh, Jonah went out into the desert to watch it be reduced to rubble. When Jonah's fears came to pass that the city was not decimated, he was enraged at God. It wasn't fair. It wasn't right. How could God be so forgiving of people who did not deserve to be forgiven? He was being consumed by his anger. The Lord confronts him about his anger, and the story abruptly ends. We don't know if Jonah changed his heart or if he died a bitter, angry man in the desert heat. Jonah's rage at Nineveh spilled over to everything around him. It influenced his view of the world. He sat in the hot desert sun, and the Lord gave him a plant for shade to ease his discomfort. At first he was very happy, but when the plant withered, he became enraged. He was angry that a gift from God that he never asked for in the first place was taken away. He could not see God's grace in the situation because of his anger.